haven't got long, guys. I've managed to escape for 5 or 10 minutes at the most. Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. I knew I kept trying to get a film out to you guys. This is a bit of a strange one, but then you'd hardly be surprised knowing how I make films. There is no fishing in it. That's right. No fishing. Sit back and enjoy. It might pass some time for you. I'm off before they catch me.
So, what I'm going to be cooking, a cup of tomato soup, and I use that with the kettle, some vol au vents with prawns. But, having made mistakes before, I've now decided, instead of putting the grill in first to get really hot, I wrap the kitchen foil around there first, get my pastry casings, I believe is the correct word for these, like this. I'm not sure what those pretty little star things, and then I can just slide them in like this. In fact, I might as well pop them on the side. Look, watch, is this going to work, folks? Just scraping off that bit of silver paper. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Oh dear, they could slide off, people. Oh, oh. I don't know how far these vol au vent cases come up. Hopefully, I'm okay there. Right, close door, Graeme. Hopefully the temperature gets up there now. And is the old girl roaring? Oh, that is some stove. It's away. I can even tone that down a bit. Right, kettle on. So there you go, you can, maybe, I don't know which angle is the best one for you there. You just see it starting to rise, the pastry, and they call that puff pastry, I think. I'm way up over 200 odd degrees there. Kettle is on the go. So I can have the soup first. Let's just check this. This thing eats wood. It just eats it. This is just as well, because not many people have wood that shape. In we go. Kettle is getting near whistle time. There we go. It's almost a whistle. It's enough for some soup anyway. And my goodness me, my pastry is doing superb. I should be on MasterChef. Believe it or not, guys, I can see that pastry actually rising here. I think it's going to lift the roof off the top in a minute if it gets much bigger. And we go with a kettle. I need some of that later. Cup of soups are dead easy, people. They're good when you go fishing. Especially if you have a little camping stove with you. You don't always have to have tea, you don't always have to have coffee. These little packet ones, pretty well ideal. This is a quaint, giant-sized mug of belonging to my daughter. Please don't anybody put in the comments page, is that your daughter's mug, favourite mug? It is, but she's out, she won't know. It's the biggest one I thought I could actually get the soup in. I thought I was going to go for tomato, but in fact, it looks very much like traditional minestrone. Hot enough to strip the moustache off a fisherman. Women will be so proud of me. Look at the size of my vol au vents. Did I just say that? Yes, look at the size of my vol au vents. Now the wife said they get done pretty quickly. I'm going to take a peek. I know you're not supposed to do this. Oh my God. I think a little bit longer. Now the thing is here, because this is a fire with wood, I cannot tone that down. I can't switch that off. This is on and that's on. But I'm figuring, wifey said 10 minutes. I think they're done. I think they're very, very nearly done. They've risen like crazy. Let's go and get the prawns while the soup cools off. I don't know what to say. There's a lot of blue smoke in here. I think something's fallen down the back and burnt. But, gentlemen, my vol au vents, if you'll excuse the French, did indeed rise very well. However, this G-stove does get very hot. Oops-a-daisy. I don't think the wife and daughter will be sharing any of these. But I am going to cut those off there. Now, in keeping with a cookery programme, one of their famous sayings is, here's some I prepared earlier. So I'm going to use the same, slightly different angle. And we finished the cooking for the show, and here's some we destroyed earlier. And of course they can be capped on top with some more carbon, just a little bit of carbon there, and as you can see, it's exquisitely cooked on the underneath, but it appears the actual finished part is, I would say, slightly overdone, wouldn't you? This chap feels as though it might be done. Oh dear, no, it's not. This one is, I've got 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10, 1.5 out of 10. That's not a very good score, is it? But listen, if I pull off these bits, I think, do you know, I could nearly use that for ground bait. It crumbles up enough, doesn't it? Wow. And while you're messing around with that, what one can do, because it's a full-on cookery programme, you can actually drop some of the food on the floor, and as you can see, you can take a footprint of it. It's actually trodden into the floor, and as you can see there, if I was to use this pastry case for CSI, crime scene investigation, I could take an imprint and find out who it was that's done that awful cooking. Now, my darlings, in true cookery fashion, and by using the word my darlings, only a few of you of a sufficient age will remember that. Who used to say that, my darling? Fanny Craddock. She was a cookery lady back in, I guess, the 50s and 60s. Anyway, as you can see, my darlings, all these are ready to load with concrete. A smidgen of salad cream. Now, this is just a proprietary brand. One can use anything, of course one can, especially with these cooking things. Now, on top of that, I've procured some particularly fine peeled prawns. Having had my finger in my mouth, I will now place it and wipe it on the antibacterial pink dirty hand wipe rag, into which these beautiful casings, which are in fact quite superb, they've risen well, they've risen like the phoenix coming from the ashes, is to say. My daughter took one look and said, there's no way I'm eating those, which I found quite offensive, because I have done my very best to burn them. Well, in fact, I've succeeded, I have. All I can say is it needs, on top of this, my darlings, a dusting, just a smidgen of black pepper, and of course, the very best thing about this, people, is it's vol au vents, but it's really all vol with no vents. The best thing I can say about it is, thank God for a cup of soup. Cheers. Still hot. Let's try one. Hats off to you ladies for being able to make your puff pastry puff. The pepper's coming through. The light fluffiness is coming through. But most definitely what's coming through is, how can I put it? I'd consider it a sort of carbon tang to it. Not surprised, Graeme. I've destroyed them. It definitely tastes burnt. I've had to come outside, guys. It smells of melted everything in there. Carbonised vol au vents. The grease that caught light in a previous expedition in the oven, which I didn't clean the grill out and it's still covered in cooking oil. I've still got the taste of the grease on the front. And worse, I put my mum's old knife, we've got about 6 of these left, I put it underneath the kettle like that on the top of the hob. I thought that won't be hot there. That G-stove gets so hot it's unbelievable. So I come out here, I do a bit of messing around filming, looking for Colin the kite, go back in and it's blue. No wonder. It caught the whole handle of the light, burnt the entire handle away. Now, these are very, very good steel and they're round nose ones. So I enjoy using them for stripping off paint and stuff like that. Well, I suppose and eating with it as well. No one's using that like that, so I'm going to get this in the vise, crush that off. It's got on this some of it's probably Sheffield stainless steel, I guess. And I'm going to try and make a cherry wood handle out of a lump of cherry wood I got in there and carve it. But meantime, while I'm having a go at that and disposing of the taste in my mouth with minestrone soup, you guys might want to just sit back and enjoy a trip I had. I went with the wife, we went up, I think it was up the River Severn Valley on a railway trip. It was brilliant. And I just love the old 50s sort of feel about it because I am a child of the 1950s and steam trains were the thing for me. There was a bridge down by our local station and we used to go and try and either spit down the funnel, climb up on top of the parapet. Can you imagine this? This is 8 years old. Climb up on the top of the parapet of the bridge and when the train pulled in, try and spit down the funnel, or worse, try and drop stones down the funnel until the station master would shout at us, "Oi, get off of there, you boys! I'll send the police after you!" And of course, it's just the way it was. We had fun. Can you imagine 8-year-old boys balancing on the top of parapets over bridges, trying to drop stones down, or worse still, spit down the funnel? Listen, all you old guys out there, we just did some weird stuff back then. We were just playing. There was no Game Boys. They hadn't invented electricity. They hadn't invented vol-au-vents and soup. So just sit back, enjoy the footage. I might put some music on it, I might not. I'll try not to talk over it. It can be difficult. It's just something for you to watch while I'm having a go at that knife.
And then yes, I'll take it. Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Hope you enjoyed that one. A little bit of a different one. And for all those people out there that say that boy has got far too much time on his hands, I can't think where they get that one from. Can you?